Is it going to work? Oh, hello. I am now live on YouTube, and I am making sure that my audio doesn't double up. It won't. What a delight. Hello, my people. So, hi. Oh, I should do the thing, shouldn't I? Okay, one sec. I'm going to do the thing. Before we get to that, though, let me just quickly explain what this is. This is the Sunday live stream of Kill Team. So, some people might have heard that and thought I was going to do a battle report, and I'm not. So, I am, however, going to do a battle recap, a report of a battle, but not a battle report. Because I think that when you say battle report, you do, of course, think, you know, the thing that everybody else does. I'm not going to be doing that, but I will be talking over every Sunday, although it probably won't be every Sunday, it will probably be every other Sunday. Uh, a battle that hopefully I have taken pictures of throughout the week or the 2 weeks, and just lessons learned, and just, recapping my kill team experience of the last 2 weeks every other Sunday. The reason I have decided to do this is because I think that when it comes to kill team content creators, there's not a huge amount out there, as we know, and of course I do fully encourage everyone to go and watch lots of other kill team content creators. The more the better. I am not a jealous man in this regard. Genuinely, the more the better. And I just wanted to, and I was thinking, it's like, well, if you want more kill team content, where is it? I am the most regular and consistent uploader, so I guess I've got to step it up again. Yeah, and editing sucks. I hate editing, so I'm gonna do it this way, live, so that I don't have to edit. And crazy as it might sound, if it takes me 3 hours to do a video, I would rather do a 4-hour live stream if that means no editing. Although, unfortunately, having to be on camera for 4 hours. Okay, guys, are we ready? Do I have it? Yes. I think... Okay, I'm going to lower my desktop audio because this might kill some people otherwise. Okay. Alright, you ready? Okay. If you are a subscriber to my channel, and you have hit like on this video and commented hello, then I would like to give you a big double hello. That didn't work. Classic. Right, hold on. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Not flawless. You've got me there. So, yesterday I actually went up to Warhammer World, and I just I took loads of pictures. So I wanted to give you guys a, uh, a rundown of Warhammer World. The first half of this, I'm planning for it to be about an hour, but hey, if the chat with chat, live chat goes long, I did the thing. Exactly, I did the thing. That is the only thing that I do. So thank you. If the chat goes on, I'm cool to just hang out and chat for a while. But I'm expecting it will take about an hour. If the audio levels are messed up, let me know. I will do the best that I can. Right. Let's now get rid of this weird border that I'm in. There might be a very loud sound, so I will lower my desktop audio again. Hopefully this won't kill anyone when I swap scenes. And let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is review Warhammer World. Again, this first half hour is going to be Warhammer World. Then I'm going to talk about Kill Team specifically. So maybe it's only good. It might only be like 15 minutes. Let's see. Okay, what scene do I need here? Let's do it. I think it's this one. Oh, here we go. Okay, we now have a thing that we can look at. Oh, well, this isn't Warhammer World. This seems to be my Patreon. I apologize, everybody. This is a big mistake. This is embarrassing. I'm so sorry. While we're here, I wonder what delights we have. Oh, it's Vantage Point, my podcast, episode 13 with Ace, the winner of LVO, where he talks about LVO and how to play Vetguard very effectively. Did you know my Vantage Point podcast is also an actual podcast now? Listen to it if you like podcasts, but if you would prefer to watch a video whilst you're listening to the podcast, Hey, that's patron only. You can do it. Oh, look, this is one of my patrons here saying, "This is my best episode of Vantage Point so far. Thank you very much, Stoojco." Oh, what's this? It is a video that my patrons have already had access to for like a week. How about that? All the benefits one is missing by not being a patron of Glass Half Dead. I pity the fool. Let's get rid of that. Okay, all right. I'm so guys. Oh my god. I please. It's done ironically. I don't know why anyone gives me money. It's insane. So I went. Thank you. I know, and a very embarrassing mistake. Truly, I am shook. Big oof, as the kids say. Oh, sorry. Before we jump into this, let's set the mood. Let's set the mood. We have options, and this is chat. You get to decide. So let's light a bad boy up. Right. Would we like a Tyrannid candle, toxicrene spores, the scent of the Great Devourer? We can have that going on there. Or we could have Tau Ethereal, the scent of expansion, pheromones. Yeah, there we go. Chat. There's probably a way I can do like a poll in chat, isn't there? But I don't know how. I'm not really advanced like that. Would you prefer Tyrannids or Ethereal candle? If you fail to make a decision, I will just flip a coin. I will just flip a coin. So vote now in live chat. Shall I light up Tyrannids or Ethereal? Fashion superstar, jumper looking good. Thank you. This is a very, I've been told the term is a drezzy, very drezzy jumper. We can't smell it. Well, that's because you haven't become a Patreon where I actually feature full-on smell-o-vision. Tau would smell better than Tyrannid bugs. Ethereal. That's 2 for Tau. Okay. Wow. What a landslide. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. We want to smell burning fish people instead of burning bugs. Fair enough. No need to flip the coin then. Let's crack it open. Unfortunately, oh man. Let's get this on cam. If this explodes and just kills me, I'm going to be very sad. This is a fresh candle. I have not lit this before. I believe it's vanilla scented, but I'm not sure. Cool. Cool. Okay, let's do that. Lovely. Okay, good stuff. Let's put that in there. For the greater good. Well, how can I say no? Luckily, I'd already lit the candle for the one that actually super chatted me. Otherwise, a super chat always wins. A super chat always wins any decision. It even beats out the coin. So, luckily, I'd already done that. Thank you very much, Academic Chris. Right, for those of you that haven't been to Warhammer World before, no, Jimmy, I'm aware that there is a chat function. Yes, I just don't know how to use it. You know what? I've just seen how to use it. It's not in my software, but it is in YouTube where I could have done that. So next time, I might use a poll. That's fair. So anyway, I went to Warhammer World Saturday. I went up Friday night, hung around for a bit, and then played some games on Saturday with a group of like-minded, aka Kill Team players, people, which was good fun. It was arranged by a guy on Twitter called Mike's 40k, I think. His name is Mike, I'm going to assume, or at least that's what we called him, and he apparently likes 40k. That's what I've learned about his personality from his Twitter handle. Chat wants you to get controlled by a fish pheromone. Yes, that's fair. Do the candles have different? Yes, they do, Sean Smith. So to drop the faux thing, I believe Tau is vanilla, and I believe Tyranids is the scent of bergamot. So yeah, I did. So yes, my first round opponent took a photo of me as I was. What was it? I don't know. I was just looking at somebody else and listening to what they were saying, and he took a photo of me. I wasn't like pissed off. That's just my face. So yeah. Right. Anyway, so first up is this picture right here. Where is it? Yeah. This is the Invicta tactical warsuit. It's £130, but it's huge. I know that you can look at a ruler and say, okay, it is, it is 30 centimeters, so it's that big, right? But like seeing it in person, it's also very chunky. And I took a picture of it because it was quite nice scaled next to the dragons there, which are, some really big models on really big bases. But next to the Invicta warsuit, they look tiny. Um, so I bought one. Yeah, which is obviously a huge mistake, and probably, some classic depression purchasing there. Uh, what can you do, right? However, and this is the reason this was a bad idea, not because it cost £130, right? I mean, it's my hobby, I'll spend money, but because I've also bought the ultramarine incursors and infiltrators, and they still haven't turned up. So I'm actually getting pretty concerned that, I don't know, it's just never going to turn up or something. Anyway, Michael Walsh, yep, I like 40k, but more specifically 40k kill team. That would be a pretty long handle though, so yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Maybe it will get... You know what? You want to do a boss battle? I recommend doing it with the £130 Invicta Warsuit. Still cheaper than getting an Invicta Warsuit commission painted, though. So actually, I'm onto a winner, I think. Just blue tack that to a 90mm base, and I'm in business. Yeah. In Royal Mail... I do not trust Royal Mail. No, sadly. Right. Anyway, I just thought that was super cool. And I cannot wait till I get mine. Once I get mine, it will be here next to me all the time. There you go. Right. Okay. So then, for those of you unaware, the way Warhammer World works is they have a big shop, an average-sized shop, but what they spend a lot of time showing you is a bunch of different armies. There's a lot of grey plastic, so you can see how every model put together looks just in bare plastic, but they are also more and more now, more than when I last went there months ago. They show you armies of just people. They're not like... I overheard them talking to other people, and they were saying the people, like the armies that they put in these shelves, they're not like super good armies, like pro painted armies. They're just armies that people asked if they could put on the shelf, which, if you don't know, in your local Games Workshop store, that is what they do. If you go up to the boss and say, hey, I just finished an army, would it be okay if I put it in the display cabinet? As long as they have room, they will normally say yes, because of course that's part of the hobby as far as GW is concerned, that people can go and show off like their cool things. Yeah. Does the Invictus suit come painted? Yes, it comes painted. That's right. So that's why I said it's still going to be cheaper to buy a fully painted 30cm Invictus warsuit than to get one pro painted and miniature. Ultra Spurs not turning up is kind of on brand though. Oh, yeah, okay. So anyway, I took a picture of these Idoneth Deepkin because as I was walking around Warhammer World, I was absolutely smitten by some of the larger models. I'm a big fan of large models, but not just large models, armies where there's a big scale difference. I'll talk about that later. And Idoneth Deepkin, basically all of the Age of Sigmar line, all of the armies there have just, so, in my opinion, just much better models than in 40k. Which makes sense because a lot of the lines are much, much newer. I mean, yeah, like in the last, 6 years, they've all had their lines redone or are brand new armies. So done, not redone. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, Idoneth Deepkin, I think that they were probably my favorite of the lot. I didn't take very good pictures of this. You can't really see what looks good, like the size differences here, what looks good, what doesn't. But I did think the bases here were pretty cool. So this, if I talk this long over each picture, it's going to take way too long. This is actually the first time I have seen this dragon. I don't know any of the names. This Stormcast dude on a dragon, and it's huge. But it's obviously one of the first models that was released, like big models for Stormcast. But I've just never seen it before, and I did not realize it was that big. So there you go. Cool model. If I could figure out, I often find myself looking at these big models and thinking, wow, I wish I could figure out how to put that into 40k. Even to the point of trying to find an army in 40k where I would have an excuse to use that model. Very difficult. This is just Nagash, who, again, because I'm not really a 40k, a Sigmar player, or a 40k player, lol, I never really see these models. I hear about them all the time, but yeah, he's huge. There you go. And the reason that surprises me is because he was released before Age of Sigmar was released. Like, he's not like a brand new model. He was around in Fantasy, I believe. Ultra Sigmarines. I'm colorblind. Pass. And then we get, what's his name? Archaon. Archaon the Ever-Chosen. And the reason I took this picture is because you see him next to my boy that I have painted and built up. Be'lakor. Be'lakor's a big model. He looks like a midget next to Archaon. I do think... Oh, I'm going to say this multiple times in this video, aren't I? Age of Sigmar has brilliant large models. Speaking of AOS, what's your opinion on Warcry? I know you mentioned Dice Check before, and it being dead from a content creation perspective. Yep, pretty much. Always cares for big monsters. Fair. I really need to make the trip there. If you won't have, you're 40 minutes away and you've never been, you have to go. Yes, the old Nagash was teeny. Yes. But I mean, the new model is not that new, relatively. My opinion on Warcry. So I played quite a bit of Warcry when it first dropped. I did, what are they, Stormcast? I did Stormcast because I didn't know any better. They were just the faction that I wanted to play because at the time I wasn't doing Space Marines, and obviously Stormcast are basically Space Marines for Sigmar. So I did them, and they turned out to be super good. So I like won a tournament in a very impressive manner, I think, and whoops. And then that was it. That was kind of it. Yeah. And then it's not a competitive game, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. But it's a casual game. I think you can get a game done start to finish, including setup of terrain, all that stuff, in, let's say, 30 minutes. And that's me being generous. It's probably more like 40 if you're including the full setup of terrain. But it's a very fast game. That's cool. But I think, at least as I feel now, I'd probably rather play Underworlds. Yeah, I'd probably rather play Underworlds, which can still be casual, but also, because it's a board game, and like a card deck management type thing, be a little bit more, what's the word? Competitive? If it were. I've been talking to John from Can You Roll a Crit, and he says it's dead. And he points out, I think the LGT, in whenever it was, November last year, September, had 11 players, and LVO, you know, the biggest 40k tournament in the world, had 5 players at its competitive event, which is just, oof, yeah. So it's dead. Competitively, it's dead. Apparently, so they say casually, it's booming, but competitively, it's gone, which I think is a real shame, because even if I don't want to actually play it competitively, I always want to know that there is the room to expand if I decide I really like that side of the game. But the fact that it's a board game, and you can, in theory, if you want to use it, treat it as just a casual board game, just pick up 1, 2 war bands. If somebody comes around and say, hey, let's play Underworlds. Here's your ready-made deck, because they all come with ready-made decks. You don't need to buy anything else. You just have two bands to just say, ah, let's roll some dice, and it's all on a hex grid. Hex grids are cool. Yeah, so bit of a shame. I'd love it if it really took off, but obviously it probably won't at this point because it's coming up to 3 years. 3 years old, I think, maybe 4. Original Nagash's Comedy Gold. You're certainly closer to 40 minutes than 30 to get a game of Warcry. That's fair. That's fair. Double hello to all. Life Blighter, thank you. You've missed the official double hello, but don't you worry. For those of you just turning up now, I am going to talk about Kill Team in a moment. At the moment, I'm just on a random tangent looking at Warhammer World stuff, but it is coming. Probably in about like 15 minutes. Apparently the game's a bit of a mess. The rules are also quite complicated in terms of reactions, etc. Understandable. Underworld was really cool when it launched, which is when I played it. Oh, I do have every single Season 1 warband and all the cards. So, like, I did play Underworlds, to be clear. But I didn't buy a single warband after that until Beastgrave released, and I bought the starter set for Beastgrave, I think. Big hassle to keep buying the sets for a few cards. I agree. My vague understanding, and again, I don't really know, is that the way they've done it now is you buy card packs and it has a ready-made deck. And yes, they are universal, so they can be like rounded up and collected. I don't know. I'm sure you can still do that, and if you do that, then you're going to end up being more powerful than somebody that only bought one deck. I don't know. Changing to ready-made decks was fantastic for Underworlds, but came too late, sadly. So my understanding was that you can still create a deck, and it doesn't have to be a ready-made deck, so you can still fully customize it. I do not know, though. Can't wait. Yes, the Kill Team will be talked about. Let's kid you, it's Harlequins or CSM. You've lost me there, Rodina. We know that Harlequins are in... what is it? March. Are in March's White Dwarf. So from what we know, it's going to be March next month. So in what, a little bit over 2 weeks, we're going to be getting 3 kill teams. We're going to be getting Corsairs, Harlequins. Those 2 are confirmed, and some flavor of chaos, whether it be cultist-like, whether it be full-on 5-6 Marines, or whether it be some sort of hybrid, almost Gene Stealer cults-like, where we get, you know, 1 or 2 Marines, hero type characters, mixed in with, you know, the smaller cultist like. So they probably wouldn't be Marines then. They'd probably be like, because we did see in the rumors, like, possessed humans, maybe. We know that's a new unit coming. Yes, GWR setting up the Underworlds. You can, yes, but ready-made decks make it harder to start with an absolute failed deck. That's fair. Have you heard any whispers about what the CSM team will look like in Nagwind? No. So here's the crazy thing, right? 40k has had so many leaks, like absolutely insane leaks. For every codex that has dropped, you have been able to find very accurate leaks. But whoever is doing these leaks apparently doesn't care about Kill Team, which is understandable. It's a much smaller game. And therefore, the only time these leaks mention Kill Team is when it's related to the models that are going to be related to 40k. And that's it. So we don't know anything, which in a sense I quite like. Yeah, there you go. I'm not going to justify that. I'm not going to justify that. Yeah, I just do. Would they release 3 at once? Yes, we know that they are. I'm not, yep. Corsairs? Well, yeah, I mean, so again, the only reason I say they're all coming out in the same month is because that is the last month of the quarter in which they should be releasing. And if they slip past that month, then they officially miss their roadmap. That's all. Right, let's power through. I will get through this, guys. As I was walking around Warhammer World, the only... So I loved lots of the Age of Sigmar armies. I think they're really cool. Really good. There wasn't a really good Seraphon army, but I do like Seraphons. There also wasn't a really good Skaven army. The 2 ones I really like there. But whatever. But then when I was looking at the 40k armies, nothing really took my interest apart from Tyranids. This Tyranid army here. That is a really big base. In case you can't tell, I hadn't realized quite how big that dude was. Super cool. Kind of made me want to start a Tyranid army. And I could talk more about that maybe at some point. But yeah, you know, you've really got to look at rule of cool. Like when you're painting as many models as this guy here has, you've really got to think about rule of cool because you're painting so many. You have to want that final vision. I am not at the point in 40k where I can think, oh, I want to be a top tier player, so I'm going to play the top tier meta chasing army. No. Although, coincidentally, of course, with Tyranids being the next faction, they probably will be a top tier army. They currently are a top tier army, but that's with Crusher Stampede, which I love the idea of all big bug army, but I now do not want to run because apparently it's OP broken. My life is complicated, I know. What trade do you think will come the next new box set? So again, there's been absolutely no hints, but right now we have to assume that it will be, what's the word? Fronteras. Because in the Vigilus Alone Crusade book, that's the latest terrain, and there are bits in there that haven't been released yet. So we have to assume that the next Kill Team box might be a launch of those pieces. Now, those pieces don't look very good for Kill Team, but you know what? The Chownath set wasn't really very good for Kill Team either. So there you go. All those Gene Sealers. I think you probably mean Termagants. But yeah, there's a lot. It's real bad. Love the podcast. Thank you, Dave. Fully cut out right. Nice. Could you do an ep on how to prepare for a tournament and what to expect when you get there? Great idea. I think that's a really good idea. You know, the Killzone podcast with Birinid and Kill Team Stream and Emmanuel from Strategic Advantage, I think they've just done that. Obviously, we have a very different style. Mine is way looser, way more sit around for 2 hours and see if I say something interesting. That's my style. Whereas Birinid is always very focused about giving you in as quick as time as possible that knowledge. So check out Killzone podcast as he's already done that. Tyranids are so cute. That's true. GG Nids are fun and epic scale. Really get the swarm feeling across. Yeah, I think that'd be quite fun. I really hope that they make the swarm army viable in the new codex. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. Because so far, say what you will, power creep is very real in 40k. So I expect Tyranids to be very power creeped. You know, creepy crawlies, power creep. I think it'll work. Big Bug is going to be a bugger to put together. Yeah. Yeah. He's like an extended goal. He's not going to be the first thing I put together or the first thing I buy, right? He's going to be okay, I've got my 2,000 points of NIDs. Now I'm going to have fun and buy a Harridan or a Biohive Tyrant, whatever they are. So, thinking about getting Eldar army when the new book hits. I haven't had a 40k army since 7th. You know, it really depends what you want in a 40k army. From what we know so far from the Codex Eldar leaks, I think it'd be a really good army if you want something that lasts you multiple editions and you can have lots of different ways to play it. I'm sure there's going to be a power build, but just because we know that it covers Ynnari, Craftworld, Harlequins, and Corsairs, what I'm saying is there are multiple armies in the one book. So if you want that, probably a good idea. GC should really wear tiny hats. Okay, yeah, all right. As soon as I know which models are getting updated, I'm on them like white on rice. Which models are getting updated? Yes. Yes, updated models are nice. I'd love a big monster army, but I'm not getting into involved with 40k anymore. Just trying to get Kill Team happening, and got annoyed that everyone was not playing 40k. Yeah, I mean, you know, 40k is the big game. Kill Team is a tiny game compared to 40k. Always will be. For some reason, I don't really know why. There you go. Yeah. I assume it's some sort of weird issue. I don't really know why. If it's new terrain, that means it'll probably be more likely to be 1 to 5, right? One really considering with the upcoming price rise. Yeah, so I assume it's going. I can't imagine it being under. Oh no, sorry, Chownath was under 125, wasn't it? Chownath ended up being shockingly reasonable, or no, Chownath was 125 because it had terrain. Yeah, I would expect, due to the price rises, this will be the most expensive Kill Team box yet, which is a real shame. But, you know, just assuming that they add 10%, we're looking at close to 150, which is super expensive. But that's going to be the price of Games Workshop going forwards. It's really expensive. Yeah. Yeah. That is pure speculation. I do not know. Even as an early review copy guy, they don't ever tell you the price. You have to just guess. Fronteras isn't a new one, but it has. So Daniel Northway, there are new pieces for Fronteras. Yes, Fronteras is actually the STC Riser pattern ruins, but there are new Fronteras pieces that were shown in the Vigilus Alone book. They're like a tower array. They don't look anything like the Fronteras set, but for some reason they're being lumped in with it. Nids that is. Yep. Yep. Well, we're hoping Lictors. Because I don't know why, as a community, we just agreed, yeah, Lictors. That's what Nids are getting, but we are. It's going to be called Edward Chaos. There's a chance for some Chaos terrain. Yeah, I mean, it might be all new terrain, for sure. For sure. But I can't guess all new terrain. I have to guess with what we've already got. Or first skirmish games. I think we all do. If you're watching my channel, you probably, yeah, we probably all do. Chownath was 105. Oh, was it? Okay, cool. But if there is a new terrain, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, let's power through because it's going to take so long. Oh my gosh. This is just, again, these pictures are impossible to give scale with. But this is Kragnos, and he's, as you can see, as tall as one of those Behemoth giant dudes. They're just cool models. Now we get to some forgeworld stuff. So, the Phantom is the biggest pattern of Eldar Titan. It really is a big model. To attempt to give you scale, I think we're looking at around 2.5 feet. The two, whatever they're called, in front of it are larger than a Wraith Knight, but only just. They're much thicker, but they are also a little bit larger than a Wraith Knight. So if you've seen a Wraith Knight, the Phantom is kind of 2.5 of them. Yeah. It's a cool model. It's a cool model. I would say one thing, and this is just a general issue I have with all large Titan type things, is especially with the Eldar, it looks a little bit smooth in places. Like, well, where's the detail? I think they need to watch a YouTube video called The Importance of Detail Clustering in 3D model making. So, then this is the Haradan. Again, impossible to show scale. But this thing is much bigger than I thought. It's actually got a really bulky body. I had always thought it was going to be quite almost slim, but then long to make it a big model. But it's a chunky son of a gun, is all I can say. It flies way too close to the ground, if that is its actual flight stem, though. And then this is just below it, where a bunch of the big bugs. Yeah, cool. Nice. Weirdly, so I have myself a small Tyranid army already, completely unpainted, though. I don't, somehow I don't have a Hive Tyrant. That's probably a mistake. Yeah. I took one picture of an Imperial plane. I think this is the Thunderbolt, because as I was looking around, again, as I said, I was very unimpressed with the 40k models. This was the only plane that really jumped out at me. It's like, oh, you know what? That's actually kind of cool. I like that. That is full on. It's just a World War II plane with a minor modification, but yeah, it looks super cool. And then again, back to the Age of Sigmar models. I think that the Kharadron Overlords are great for conversion fodder for 40k, obviously squats, whatever. But actually, I don't much care for them. which is a real weird thing. I should. They are exactly the kind of thing I should like. The only reason I took this picture is because the big model there, the ironclad, is really big and cool. If I were to collect them, I would just run as many ironclads as I could. Right. Okay, I'm gonna have to scroll up. I've completely missed chat, haven't I? I'm so sorry. Yes. Cool. I subscribe with Imperium US for the premium. I'm just wondering how many kill teams I'll be able to make out of it. Got the full premium. I actually don't know. Because I knew that I didn't want to buy any of the Imperium magazines. I didn't really look into it. Lots of people did videos. Like once they announced the full range of models you could get from that, lots of people did videos telling you everything you could want to know. You know, all the terrain you get from it, the full points count of every 40k army, every kill team you can make from it, etc. So just try googling around for that, I'm afraid, because I don't really know what comes in it. Still think that a Necron terrain would be Deathworld Forests. Are you only saying that because Corsairs, Eldar, and there are Eldar ruins in the Deathworld Forest? You know what? I could see it. I could see it. And actually, I think the Deathworld Forest stuff, you know, given enough interesting keywords, could be really good. Would Warhammer World be a good day out for the family? Yeah, if they like Warhammer, yes. Otherwise, no. A ship or shipwreck? If not, so obviously, which you're about to see later, the Ideneth Deepkin have a ship and shipwreck. So buy that stuff. Rectangular, hello. Ooh, ooh, rectangular. The rectangle. We don't have a rectangle, do we? Oh well. That would probably be safe to Tyrannus versus Katashan. That'd be cool. Hoping he's wrong. It's a bit of a boring set. You know, as long as you have some interesting keywords, like you can just say, whatever. This is heavy terrain. Suddenly, that's a huge line of sight blocker, or this is breachable in essence, so you could just walk straight through it, but it blocks line of sight. You can do lots of things with all of the kits if you are in the position of the developers, who can just straight up make up the keywords and what they mean. Too steampunk for AOS. I'm not sure if I agree with that. I get what you're saying. I retract my statement. I don't mind it, is all I'm saying. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird. But it's AOS. They're gonna do weird things. How was Bugman's? I didn't try it this time. I've tried it before. I don't like beer. So I didn't like it. There you go. It's okay, Brian. I forgive you. Yeah. You fought a Warlord Titan with a scout. Okay. How did that go? Right. Now these guys here, these are big models. They are, I believe, a little bit taller than the Eldar. But as you can tell, they are way thicker. And interestingly, if we zoom in here, do we see this? This one, super cool, up top here, there are actually crew members looking around and manning the guns. I really liked that. But then over here, there aren't. So that was a bit of a shame. Big letdown. And of course, to give you any scale at all, this down here is a person. So, yeah, there you go. They are pretty big. We're going to zoom in. Yep, that's the person. There we go. Very nice. And that's, I think that's a head. I'm not sure what that is, actually. Cool. Now, this is the Sokar pattern Stormbird. To be honest, I'm completely shocked that this is a Horus Heresy thing and not the Primaris version of the Thunderhawk. Again, you're not going to see the scale of it in pictures until you see it in person. But it is very big. Actually, coming out of the back here, like the main body of this can fit a rhino in the center. If they had scaled it up so it could fit a Land Raider in the center, that would be much cooler, I think. Again, this is the other side of the SOCAR pattern Stormbird. And that is the Thunderbird, Thunderhawk beneath it, who I'm assuming this little opening here can't fit a rhino. Just throwing that out there. But yeah, the SOCAR is just straight up bigger in every possible sense. Again, you cannot tell. Oh my god, I need to get past this, don't I? You cannot tell the scale on this, but this thing here, the reason I took. So at this point in Warhammer World, I was walking around and I just took pictures of things that were big. I was going to make a joke there, but I'll contain myself. That drill thing behind these little robots is massive, but you can't tell because these robots are not like marine size. These are dreadnoughts, and then that is huge. There you go. Yep, that's a painted up Thunderhawk. Looks cool, I thought, but whatever. And then I took a picture of this guy at the back here, Samus, because I just don't know what he is. I'm not up to date with my Horus Heresy because I don't like it, to be honest. But he's just a werewolf. That's it. And then I took a picture of Guilliman and Sanguinius, because actually Sanguinius is being pretty cool and Guilliman quite the statesman. There you go. When am I zoomed out? There we go. And can you tell what I'm taking a picture of here? Can you tell? Okay, let me show you the next one. That might help. Oh, no, not that one. Yep, it's a peanut spike. In case you were wondering. Right. Back to chat. Steve, going to be doing a team game against 6k points of Titans in a few months. Oh, cool. Blue's load on the Warlord in a couple. Is that blowing your load or is that just the game? I think that's right. How to get your wife to divorce you? Yes. Scout died. Yeah. My wife would kill me if I bought one of those. Fair. Good evening, all. Thankfully, he is single. Yeah. Harsh. Make it from plastic plate or cardboard. Varak used his YouTube funds on one. I think that's totally fair. Totally fair. The Mouse Steve, why you got two glass like that? Oh, me. Lol. D6 evolution, aka either Wes or Andy. You should have. Samus is the man. Samus is the man beside you. I clearly don't understand that. Yeah. Good. What, guys? You gotta get off the Robuti Guilliman memes. Okay. He's good. You know what if you have any bikers for Titans? Do you mean put a Titan on a bike? I mean, you know, I'd be into it, I guess. Chad Warden, I ain't gonna play with it. Deal. Dough. Okay. Orion Assault Dropship. So the reason I took a picture of this is because I had always thought this was much bigger than it was. And it is a very big model. But putting it next to all these legitimately big models from Forge World, it is not as big as I remembered. So there you go. Yeah. Also, I'm going to throw this out there. I know why they're designed that way, but the smoothness of them doesn't really work for me for the Custodes vehicles. It's a cool big model though, so it's fine. I took a picture of this just because I thought it was cool. These two little tops here on the left and the right, I assume you can put them on top of the Mastodon there. That's just cool that you have two options, I thought. Then we're almost done and I can talk about Kill Team, guys. I'm so sorry. This is the big board that they have there. It's a mining operation complex. To me, super cool thing you could play on. Also, the least practical board anyone has ever seen, obviously. And I think... Yes, I saw what you said. I think that it's not even good for Necromunda because there's not enough like bits to hide behind. Even though I'm sure most people look at this and say, oh yeah, that'd be good for Necromunda. But I don't play Necromunda yet. So, you know, fine. And then that's it from the other side. Super cool board though. I don't know what game I would play on it and like be like, yeah, that was a really good game. But I don't think that's the purpose of the table, so it's fine. I then went back. I then went back to the store to take a picture of these knights because they did have some knights armies. Yeah, and I took a picture of these because, as I mentioned, I was looking around and I thought all of the Age of Sigmar models were super good, and I like the big models. So when I go up to this Knights army, why aren't I blown away? And I don't know. I just, for some reason, they just don't do it for me. And I'm not quite sure why, because I do intellectually think that Knights are a cool army. But oh my god, guys, it's been 45 minutes and I'm barely talking about Kill Team. Let's get through this. Dark Angels. I thought they were a cool little army. I kind of want to buy the Hammerfall bunker for myself so that I could use it as terrain in games of Kill Team. I should also go and paint up an Ultramarine Invictus warsuit so that I can have a little brother for the big Invictus warsuit. Tau. I took a picture of this because here's the Raider. Yep, we probably all know how big a Raider is, and then this thing here dwarfs it, which is cool because I had never realized that was any bigger than a Raider if you buy it from Forgeworld. And I took a picture of these two variants. I don't know which variants they are of Baneblades because Baneblades are cool, but you know, as I was walking around, even though these are big tanks, but they didn't really strike me. I don't know. Then I did take a picture, obviously, of oh no, I forgot the name of the big suit. The Yavara? No. Taunar Supremacy suit. The Taunar Supremacy suit here. It's huge. Love it. Big fan. Yep. Super cool. I have nothing bad to say about that suit. Looks really cool. And then here, what I'm actually taking a picture of, despite all of these, is this thing here. I don't know what this is called. It's either a Hell Talon or a Hellblade. It's very big. Looks cool. Necrons. This thing here looks cool. I wanted to show you again Archaon, a converted Archaon next to Glotkin, another big model, just to show you once more how big Archaon is. In the background, this was like the only Skaven of the day, but that is one of the large Skaven dudes. Again, tiny compared to Archaon. I was about to call him Abaddon. How could anyone mistake the two? This is the other Idoneth Deepkin army I saw. Which, again, I took pictures because I just thought they were super cool. Super cool looking. But, standout model for me. The Leviathan. I love this thing. I don't know why. I just think this giant turtle is super cool. Super cool. It's very big. You can't really tell how large this is, but it's very big. I like it. And then this is just these things. I don't really know what they are. I'm not sure if I love them. They're just normal dudes on a big cape. Oh, and then I took some pictures of the menu in Bugman's Bar because there was a reason. What was the reason? Oh, just to show you that they do fun things. So, you know, they're not called burgers, they're Beast Burgers or Gorgon Burgers. You know, up there we have the Beast Claw Everwinter meals. Now, I've got to say, actually, I was a little bit sad because if we read any of these, like up here, Cottage Pie. Okay, actually, you know what? That sounds fancy enough that I'm okay with it. Let's use a different one, okay? Mac and Cheese. Not very fancy. I feel they should have put its actual name here, Barak Mornar Macaroni, as the real name, and then beneath it in brackets, mac and cheese. I would have preferred that. There you go. And then Bugman's Bar, cool. Yep. I then went back to the Forge World booth because I wanted to take a picture of this guy. And again, because there's no scale, you can't tell. This guy's chunky. He is really big. But you can use this, I believe, I think, in a standard 40k Knights army. It's just a Knight variant, I think. But it's much bigger than a normal Knight. This guy's also much bigger, and that's it, okay? Then we just have a few... Oh, let's power through, my gosh. So I only played 2 games throughout the day. I decided to give my Craftworld Eldar a final go. Because obviously after this, I'm never touching them again. I'm going to be, you know... Oh, actually, yes, Life Blighter. I would have really liked them to lean into the 40k menu, and it's just, yeah, corpse starch, and it's porridge or something. Or just like mince beef. Just, yeah. So anyway, yeah, I was using my Craftworld Eldar. I lost both games. Cool. I was playing on the terrain of my first opponent, which was pretty cool. He played Commandos. He beat me. I think I was like his 3rd ever game. So I was coaching him a little bit. Not coaching him, that sounds wrong. I was just helping him play. It was pretty good. As you can tell, this is, yeah, hey, it's a nice casual games. Was Nick played in fun? I didn't play against Nick. He was too busy. A lot of the people there, so I didn't know anyone there, really. It's a Forge World channel. If GW wants to send me Forge World stuff, that's up to them. So I didn't get a chance to play Nick. What did I do? So I don't use Twitter. Not my thing, okay? But everybody there seemed to know each other from Twitter. And that's not my vibe, it's not my scene. So I didn't know anyone really. But I think all of these people are quite active on Twitter, and they were hanging out with each other a little bit clicky wise, not in a negative way, just, you know, with each other, because they knew each other from another way. So, like, I think only 2 of them knew who I was, maybe 3. I don't know. So, you know, it's whatever. Though, yeah, we played some games. Cool. Oh, this is them. There you go. Yeah, cool. You will notice any picture I take, I'm not in, and that's because that's how cameras work. I then played a second game again. So I took my commandos with me in case anybody wanted to have like a really sweaty game, but nobody did. So I was happy to just play my Craft Worlds and lose. This is the guy that organized it, Mike's 40k. Mentioned him at the beginning. He took Tyranids into me. 5 Steelers, 3 Warriors. I think that's a really good loadout. Yeah, cool. Oh, that's it. That's the end. That's the end. Final story, which if you're in my Discord, you've probably already heard. This amused me, so I'm going to pass it on. As I was walking around towards the end of the day, towards, you know, a bit after lunch, I saw 2 people in Bugman's Bar playing Kill Team. They weren't associated with the meetup. Obviously, some people just go there to play Kill Team, right? Brian, super chat for $5. Admit at last, your channel is a whomever said. Yes, I want to make this very clear. My time and money are limited. And if a company wants to send me free stuff, I will immediately take that as like, I'll probably talk about it. Yeah, like I don't hide that at all. Because why would I? Like, there are so many games I want to play and spend time in that if one of the companies will send me their stuff, I will prioritize that above other things. For example, there's a game I'm really excited for coming up called Rivenstone. It's by, like, the lead dev is Will Hungerford, who, you know, cut his teeth on Warhammer Hordes from Privateer Press, but he left, enjoyed Black Anvil Miniatures, and I'm really excited for the game. But I currently have GW sending me free stuff. Unless their game picks up traction to the point that I could actually like do really well from covering it on its own, I probably won't make content for it. Maybe one video sort of thing, as I'm like, oh, this is fun, you know, or something that's patron only. But if they send me a bunch of stuff and it's like, here you go, then suddenly I have everything I need and I don't have to worry about the financials of it because it's just I have it and I'm interested in it anyway, then I might make a video for it. So yeah, there you go. I am totally open about I can be bought. There you go. Yeah. Barak and some followers went recently. I assume to Warhammer World, you mean there? Nobody should use Twitter. Probably true. Lol. Nids versus Eldar. So, yeah, it was fine. It was fine. It wasn't too bad. Twitter is bad as Facebook. You know, despite the fact I have a YouTube channel, I'm actually not very social media savvy. I don't really use these things apart from Reddit. And I know lots of people say, oh, Reddit, Facebook, they're all terrible. I've generally had positive experiences. Sometimes. I will say Reddit is very Instagram, which I don't care about. Like, it's nice to see cool models occasionally, but every post being cool models is a bit meh. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's a spammer. My bad. I should probably delete that guy. Hello, Glass. Recently started hobbying and love kill team. Line of sight video was invaluable. Thank you, Archwizard Connor. Yes, that is probably my best video about kill team so far. Twitter's absolute set. Fair enough. Someone took their grandmother there, and the names has been in brackets since. Yeah, I could believe that. That's fair. All right. Oh right. My gosh, I got sidetracked in the middle of a story. What am I doing with my life? So I was walking around Bugman's bar, and there were two people in one of the alcoves playing kill team. So, and I you know, side-eyed them as I walked past and saw they didn't have any tokens on the board. And I was like, oh, that's weird. So very, very casually, I was like, oh, hi, guys. Because, you know, I'm British. I don't like talking to people. I felt super awkward. But, you know, using Warhammer as the social lubricant, right? So I walk up and say, oh, hi, guys. Oh, is that the new kill team? And they're like, oh, yeah. This is, you know, this is our first ever game of the new edition. I was like, oh, super cool. How are you finding it? Is it good? You know, and they said, oh, yeah, you know, so far, not bad. I said, I notice you don't have any of the tokens on the board, any of the order tokens. What's is that, what's up with that? You know, I find it easier, because I play a little bit, to just flip the tokens over. So then they still have the orders. And the guy said, well, I prefer to take them off the board. And then set them back out at the start of each turn. Now, obviously, I realized at that point that he didn't understand how order tokens worked. So I said, you know, he assumed that, as many people do, so it's fair, he assumed that you remove all of the tokens from the board and then you set out all of the tokens again at the beginning of each turn, as opposed to when you activate the model. This is a common thing. This isn't crazy. So, you know, totally fine. So I said, oh, you know, they don't lose their order. You change the order when they activate, not at the beginning of each turn. To which he responded, well, it's personal choice. So I said, okay, guys, have a good one. And I walked off, partly because, you know, never have I felt as much of a dick as when I'm, like, unsolicitedly telling someone how to play the game, right? That's a bad look. I didn't like it. I felt awkward. I got out of there as quickly as I could. Also, so only one of them answered me. The other one was looking at me as if he were a jealous lover. and his eye contact with me was telling me that he had never been more uncomfortable in his life than when I approached them. So I got out of there. I got out of there pretty quick. It is what it is. So anyway, I didn't manage to save them, and that's what am I doing here? If I'm not doing that, this is actually the room is vanilla-y enough. The tower ethereals have burnt enough. The pheromones are yeah. So I'm just gonna stop that because it's actually scaring me a little bit. Okay. Ooh, right. Okay. So that's my final little anecdote. If we go over to here, I actually have Kill Team to talk about. Can you believe it? My gosh. Okay, what have we got? Hardworking YouTuber gets well-deserved free stuff. Internet, what a shill. I am a shill. I literally started this video by making a joke about that people should go to my Patreon, so yes. I really hope you get all the free stuff. Oh man, oof. Reading this over feels so cringe. I like to just say things and then forget that I've said them. You guys holding me to account and reminding me what I've said is actually physically painful for me to read. Jeez, this hurts. This hurts. That's good most time on FB. Okay, any plans to cover Spec Ops? Ooh. Not yet, no. My problem with Reddit is all these pro painters post me like, oh yeah, like, oh, my first time painting a model. It's like, okay, buddy. Hope you threw down. Only concealed until your turn happens. Well, yeah, so that's the problem. Like, anyway, whatever. You know the problem. You know that they were playing wrong. It's fine. You may have mentioned this earlier, but is there any news on a release date or more detail on the second team in the Corsairs box? No. No, we don't know anything. And so this is the thing. Okay, I'm gonna be off camera for a moment, but I'm here, okay? This is the thing, right? Until recently, I actually wasn't sure what I was allowed to like do and say and all of this stuff, okay? Like I genuinely didn't know, and so I was just completely quiet about everything. Because I thought that's what I had to do under the NDA, right? That I'd signed to be an early reviewer. But recently I had a chat with, I don't know what he's called, but he's like the community manager. He's new in the post, and he said that I just asked him a load of questions about what am I actually allowed to do and say. And like, you know, when everybody was, like the NDA got leaked and everybody's like, oh, you signed the NDA, so you can't say anything bad about GW or their products. I asked him, am I allowed to like, what does that mean? Like, can you just explain to me what that actually means? What am I allowed to do? He said, yeah, do whatever you want, say whatever you want, it's fine. You can insult us, it doesn't bother us. So there you go. And he said, so I thought under the NDA, until the embargo lifted, I wasn't even allowed to admit that I had something, right? Like I couldn't even tell you, even though you knew because I was doing early reviews, I wasn't allowed to tell you until exactly 10 a.m. on the Saturday. Oh, I have this thing. He clarified that and said, no, that's not the case. You are allowed to tell me, like, you know, like, don't make a big song and dance about it, but like, yeah, I am 100% adding words to what he has just said. I want the like button to peg me though. I feel like I've missed some context. I feel like I definitely missed something here. So anyway, all I'm saying is, like I can confirm that I do not have Kill Team Nachmund. There's no lie there. I'm not like, it's not like I'm going to reveal it and spring it on you next Saturday and just say, boom, I have it. I can confirm I do not have it. And obviously I don't know anything about release dates. To give you an example of this, here you go. I have this. But I don't have Nachmund. There you go. Hopefully that proves all of my sentiment. Cool. Uh, um, you know what? I'm not even going to read back through what I've missed in this chat. I don't know what's going on. As for the next box, a contact managed games Warhammer at Wame's Workshop. Possessed versus the Corsairs. Interesting. I could see Possessed because we know Possessed are in the rumored lineup of models that might, or that will, because the rumors have been true so far, that will get a new release. So I could definitely see that, yeah. I'm the man behind the show. What a handler. Inquisitive X is here. Yes, he is. Hello, Inquisitive X. Hello, Overboard. Man, okay. Yeah. Everyone real hobby is just yelling at GW and companies. Those people need better hobbies. I would agree. I would agree. I'm not going to go into it any further because I will say things that get me cancelled by other YouTubers. Get Knackman. You got Git. Okay. All right. The answer is Possessed team would be... Yep, Possessed would be cool. You're better off if you... Yeah, I'm not going to read back. Yeah. Playtest definitely must have leaked a couple of things, even if it's just to content creators. Oh, no, I don't know. Like, genuinely, I've got no clue. I think, and this is... So... this is really frustrating for me and for you, probably, but... Yes, I talked to playtesters, but... I was really clear up front that I actually don't want to know a lot of things about the game. Because my first experience of having the Octarius box and being completely unable to share it for like 2 weeks was actually a really negative experience. And so I don't really want to end up knowing things that aren't going to happen for 6 months, because then I can't talk about it. Not because I care about Games Workshop legal or anything. Screw them, they're a corporation. I care as much about them as they care about me. But because I care about the people, because I don't really want to like upset or offend the people that I have met, the person. I don't care about the corporation. So I wouldn't want to mess up something for example, the designer of Kill Team or the playtesters I talk to. Because that would be like a betrayal of personal trust, as opposed to me screwing over the corporation, which I don't care about because they're a corporation. So, you know, yeah, I don't know, it's a whole thing. But yeah, I do not want that level of being spoiled, because I want to be able to talk about crazy, outlandish theories with you guys. And then, once I get the copy of Knackman, which I hope is soon. I mean, it could be tomorrow for all I know. I don't know. I get no advance warning of when things turn up, right? But then, as soon as I get that in my hands, I am tied. I cannot say things about it. As we now know, I can tell you I have it, but that's all I can say. And that's actually kind of sucky, because so okay, it saves me £125, but it actively hurts my channel, because if you go and look at Auspex Tactics, which I'm sure many of you do, his biggest videos are rumors and leaks, as it is for all of 40k. Some of my biggest videos before Kill Team 2, you know what it was? It was Pariah Nexus rules leaks. Those were some of my biggest, best viewed videos, because I got the leaks early. There you go. Right. I know it won't happen, but I'd love cultists with rules to summon demons. That'd be sweet. Summoning rules would be cool. I'm definitely up for that. What do I want of a White Dwarf space team? What I want out of a White Dwarf space team, that's easy. I would just like them to be slots. Slot-based space marines, there you go. So I can take whatever I want, all mixed and matched. But at the same time, I can't see GW doing that to us. I think we're getting a box team, just because why would they pass up an opportunity to give us new Space Marine models? I really do think most of the money about GW is unfounded. It's a luxury hobby. They care about the product they make. They aren't the bad guys. That gets into a whole thing about corporations aren't people, and you shouldn't personify them or whatever. But sure, I don't read Russian, but I'm just gonna say yes. You could talk to the camera instead, then you'd have material to create videos when it releases. So that's actually what I did. Yeah. I not everybody watched it, of course, but back when Octaris released, I did a hobby vlog where it's like I can't talk to my community for 2 3 weeks, whatever it was. It was I honestly can't remember how long it was. So I just filmed myself doing hobby, and I think it was like an hour-long video, and it was just me talking to myself. Yeah, which was weird, but that was the release that I needed to justify. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. Um, there was a Warcom ad for the Chosen, giving them roles like fighter, etc. Okay, okay. No, I can't see them making Chosen. They're not going to do Eldritch Omens and then the same 5 Chosen in another box. That seems weird. That's just not their. That's just not GW's model, like business model. 2 boxes of Octaris and a box of Chownath. Cool. I still haven't played a game. No need, I guess. Built all the models and terrain. Nice. Love the model. You should probably play a game. I'm going to be honest with you. Oh, nobody to play the game with. That is an issue. Try TTS, I guess. It's not for everyone though. Do you think at least they talk about how far in the future they're playtesting the expansions? They at least talk. They've mentioned some timelines, but nah. Chosen would be sick. Again, we've had the Chosen. I don't think we're getting second Chosen team, but you never know. You said you could be bought though. How much for the Nakmund info? Super Cow, you can give me all the money in the world. I don't know anything about Nakmund. But you know what? Just increase your pledge on Patreon to $10 a month, and we'll see what turns up in your DMs. It's going to be nothing, by the way. Uh, I still have my original Dark Vengeance box with Chaos half untouched. Okay. Deathwatch Kill Team. I I think we're pretty sure. Oh, you mean for the Marines? I'd be well up for that. Yeah. But then it doesn't have to be. It could just be a highly customizable regular Marine unit. I think people just want customization. It doesn't necessarily have to be Deathwatch. It's just that we traditionally think of Deathwatch as being the customizable faction. But if it's just a customizable Space Marine Spec Ops team, I'm cool with it. It doesn't have to be Deathwatch for me. Hell, if they just did 2 3 Marine fire teams. Yes, that'd be fine. I agree. Terrible take. Okay, yeah, I saw that. Thought it was good. We end up with 6 bodies. Yep, that'd be fine. GW's employees are mostly good guys. I will say, so I don't have a huge amount of experience with GW employees, but the few that I have met have been really cool guys. Like, you mainly hear nightmare stories online about how you're not allowed to do anything. And apart from the one weird thing that my local GW guy does, which has to be like a regulation from up top or something, he's a great guy. Great guy. The weird thing he does is you can only play specialist games like Necromunda, Killteam, etc. on Fridays. It might even be every other Friday, I'm not sure. But that's just super weird because it's one of their games. Why are they restricting it? I don't know. Space Wolves with Wolves. I'd be up for that, yeah. GW not being the bad guys. Corporation interested in making money. Yeah, they're a force of nature. Tyranids aren't the bad guys. You know, that kind of thing. We could talk about those philosophical memes if you want. Man goes insane during quarantine. Yeah, sure. Really hope they make a White Dwarf Crusade squad kills it. I'd be well up for that. Definitely. Definitely. Space Wolves, lol. My regard on growing kill team scene. Now I want my Deathwatch primaries to combi gun storm shells. $10 patron pledge. I confirm obviously no. Yeah, that is correct. Guys, as soon as I have Nakmund, people will know I have Nakmund. Goodbye, Inquisitive X. Okay, right. Brand new. We do not know what's coming in the next box. Nobody knows. I imagine this week we're going to get more kill team info. I would assume it's going to be the other half of the box. like whatever that faction is, and then the following week we're going to be getting terrain info, but it's pure speculation. What are your options on AOS kill team? Well, that's just Warcry, which is a very different game, isn't it? Right. Okay. Quickly pausing the chat. Wait, where are we in the time? We're at an hour and 15 almost exactly. April 16th. Yeah, we'll see about that. Not sure. Not sure. Okay. Ooh, yep. Hold on. That was in relation to something I just said. Artwood. Ooh, okay. So GW specialist game like Blood Bowl, etc. are referred to in-house as shop killers because people buy one team. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I'm not sure if the new kill team is in the same league as that though. Have I tried Wormblade? Yes, I've played Wormblade twice. I thought they were very strong, but I think they were so strong because I made some really lucky saves, and Wes was playing Vet Guard, and he dropped a demo on me, demo charge, and I managed to tank two of my guys, two of my regular neophytes managed to tank his mine, so that was stupid. Yeah. Right. Okay, I'm now going to attempt to go through a... It's not a battle report, it is a report of a battle. Okay? Therefore, nobody likes that terminology, so it's a battle recap. Okay? Alright, that's what we're doing here. Here we go. Where am I? My gosh. Okay. I was playing this mission. I think it's called Domination, but I can't tell because I didn't take a picture of the other side of the page. So good job, me. You have to walk onto the objectives and perform an action on it, and then you claim it, at which point it is yours until you move off of it. Sorry, until an enemy performs an action on it and takes it back from you. I was playing Vet Guard against Commandos. The Vet Guard took the topographical chart, the rosary, and the chronometer, or chronometer, depending on how that's actually meant to be said. They also took a trench shovel, because why not? And those equipments were on these four dudes. The rosary goes on the leader, always a solid choice. And I don't know where the other ones were. There you go. I'm not going to mention it, so it's fine. Here's the deep dark secret. I haven't... So since I got Octarius and I put together my Vet Guard, which I did in record-breaking time for me, personally, I haven't built any more Vet Guard, despite now having them because of the Kill Team starter set. So I don't have enough models, all in the same style, to actually fill out the full 14-man team. So I took the ancillary support. I know this is not the best option, but I did. I took marked airstrike because that's quite beasty, and I took strafing run. Now the reason I took strafing run is because in certain deployments I think there's actually a really good way to mess with people's heads. There you go. I took stand fast, seize ground, and central control. The intention here, as you can tell, so I quite like security with seize ground and central control, and to just swarm the middle. Great idea, unless you're playing commandos normally, because you're going to end up in melee, and commandos are going to win that. The commandos then took upload viral code behind enemy lines and get stuck in. I'm not quite sure why. Oh yeah, I remember what went wrong here. So for the commandos, as you can see, I've got 4 frag grenades. They're called stick bombs, I think, on those guys. And then 2 climbing ropes. The climbing rope on the sniper is absolutely and the other dude is absolutely key, because one thing about the sniper boy there is you pair him with the comms, so you can give him an extra APL every turn. And with the climbing rope, he can do the shenanigan where he jumps up, shoots, jumps down. There you go. Yep, so that's 4 stick bombs, 2 climbing ropes. Honestly, this is probably a default loadout. People love dynamite. I totally get why. I don't love it though. So there you go. This is the board layout with the teams deployed. So we've got the commanders on the left here, and we've got the Vet Guard on the right. If we zoom in a little bit more, can we see it? Not really. Not really. But you see, I've got some custom tokens. These are quite nice. I like these. As you can see, they really stand out on the board. The red ones don't to me. I'm going to assume that's because I'm both colorblind and they are on the wrong color map, so they blend in a little bit. That's on me though. That's my bad. But I got them red and blue because it's like red team, blue team. You know, a little bit thematic. And yes, I really do need to update my objective markers and sell them again. That is coming soon, TM. As you can see, both sides... oh, right, so I should explain the map a little bit. As you see, I've attempted to kind of jerry-rig the Octaris terrain that I have already built to be more in line with the Warhammer World thing, which means 2 of these vantage points I've put rubble on to show that they can't be stood on. So even though these are in deployment zones, you can't go on them. And then as a little bit of a compromise to don't have something you can deploy on with cover, I decided that you would be able to deploy up here, but you wouldn't be able to be in a position where you have cover from the enemy. So this far back, you could get shot. And that's on both sides. Then, actually, you can't really tell from here, but this central piece of terrain is almost, I think, completely blocking the 2 vantage points from shooting each other. So actually, whatever. I know this is very controversial. What do we got here? Oh, so big mistake I made here is I didn't go back and take a picture of what the Vet Guard have. They have a up top in this little sniper's nest. They've got Sniper Spotter, Zealot. I also have the Confidant and the Hardened Bruiser. The Bruiser Veteran. And the reason for that is because that's what I built before I knew what Vet Guard did. It's fine, I guess. Yeah. Cool. Oh, it's broken. I have to quit out and go back in. Lovely. Good stuff. Here we go. Right. Yep, this is just getting a nice close-up. As you can tell, there's beautiful blue tokens. Really set the scene. Especially, you know, works well with the blue orc skin that I like to do. Yep, here we see the Vet Guard. Looking cool. Nicely hidden there. Good stuff. I have nothing to add. These are just pictures. And that's me taking a picture of the rubble piles that I put on top so that I reminded myself. No, it's not. It's of the flamer hidden at the back there. What am I even talking about? So I will say now, so I'm playing against myself here. This is a solo game. And the real issue... So I am actually relatively capable of playing a fair Sad Hammer game. Except when I am trying to do interesting tactics that are not traditional. If I'm playing a very traditional game, a very cagey game, then I can play a Sad Hammer game that is good, right? But if I'm trying to do an interesting, quirky tactic, which, you know, by taking interesting tac ops and playing in a very different style, I cannot then play a Sad Hammer game effectively because I know what I'm going to do. And unfortunately, with both of these teams, I had intended to do a slightly interesting, quirky thing. But because I knew I was going to do it with both teams, it didn't really work. And so this ended up being a bit of a weird game, unfortunately. And one of the big issues, I would say, is that also, as I'm still relatively new to the game, you know, all things considered, trying to do interesting things and weird tactics. Like, I am naturally a very aggressive player, but I don't know how effective that is in a Sad Hammer game because I know that I'm going to be playing very aggressively. There you go. That's all I'm saying. So after this, this was the final game, almost. This was the final Sad Hammer game I intend to play because I cannot play properly. In the old edition of Kill Team, I was very good at Sad Hammer. And I could get like a legitimate game in against myself. After this one though, I've decided that I can't really Sad Hammer it. It's just it isn't working. So this is the final Sad Hammer game I will ever play, which means any future games will be against other people, which is fine. You know, inevitably when you're doing a report of a battle, you're doing something to create content for people, not necessarily to play the best game. So yeah. Anyway. Oh, talking about that, I hope to be streaming another game on Tuesday, which will be to Twitch only still. I think not YouTube. We'll see. But check that out because that might be fun. Cool. Right. Let's keep going. Oh, so here we see the picture that I posted to my community of this. Look at my free hand on that. Look at that angry face. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. I like it. I enjoyed myself, as you can tell. I know what you're wondering, Andy. How did you? Sorry, I mean Glass. Who's Andy? Glass. How did you manage that that phenomenal artwork? Were you doing the Mona Lisa, girl with the pearl earring, or what's going on there? I used a Micron pen. There you go. Right. So what do we have here? So, both sides like having their nests, as I said. Zealot with the sniper to give them lethal 5-up, pretty cool. The guard took flippant order as orcs deployed much more aggressively than expected. Has it happened yet? No, it hasn't happened yet, has it? Okay. So this is the first thing that happens on both sides, both teams. So the Vet Guard use Into the Breach, of course you do. That's the only time you can use it. And when I had first played Commandos, they have a similar thing, kind of, but there are a few more restrictions to it. And I considered, because it doesn't have to be played in the first turning point, you don't necessarily have to use it then, and maybe you want to use it the second or even third to get a really clutch move the enemy's not expecting. But due to the restrictions of it, it is actually very restricted. So I think that, I can't remember, I think it's called shh or something. I think you are also supposed to use that turn one. I don't think holding it back makes sense. So yeah. Always use their little dash up thing as early as you can, turn one, I would say. Yeah, orcs, yeah. Most of the operatives were able to dash. Vet Guards into the breach, orcs using S, and I believe it's 5 H's. Except, yeah. Vet Guard reveal all of their attack ops, like turn 1 as soon as they can. Commanders don't reveal anything. Here we go. Okay. Guard obviously use Take Aim to re-roll 1s issued to the whole board because leaders next comms for 1 APL, I believe. Commandos use Skulk About because part of their plan is to just tank the incoming shots but close the distance. Man, I've got to say, Skulk About is really good. Just, if you're in cover, you're so tanky. Like, Commandos can take some damage. It's really good, yeah. Anything else? So, first activation goes to the guard. Has to be strafing run. Now you'll see I'm using my laser line pointer here to show exactly what it can hit. This ended up being really good. Hit lots of people. Interestingly, although on the picture here I can see that laser line really clearly, really good. In person, I can hardly see it because it's red. So this does really nicely. 4 damage, 6 damage, and again, 4 damage, 6 damage. Super good strafing run. Yeah. You'll notice that the Dakka boy at the back here actually doesn't take any damage, and the reason for that is because of the way that you draw your line of sight when you use strafing run. You are drawing it from this point here, and Dakka boy is clearly behind there, so I can't actually see him, even though the light would cross him. Cool. Right. The next mistake is realized with commanders that I really want to go and use my grenades on the guard's nest, but, and this is, you know, a misplan here, these guys were all on conceal. So, you know, I dashed up, they dashed up, so we're close. We're almost close enough to get off a grenade, but I can't because I want to conceal. Mistake. As you can see, every just kind of moves up. Nothing too crazy. Yep, sniper nest. Yep. Spotter goes first, kills the burner, does an extra 2 damage to Slasher Boy. And gets off some damage on my boy at the back here as well. An amazing barrage. Taking 8 damage to the guy there. That was so good. As you can tell, things aren't going brilliantly for the commanders at this point. Yep, so burner dies. I mean, it's too perfect, right? Like, I didn't really want to. Like, this hadn't been my intended first attack, but the spotter goes managed to take it. The commanders obviously had not seen that this was an issue. Spotter takes it. Boom. 3 orcs. Yeah. Slasher Boy charges before he gets killed because he's only got 4 health left. He only actually gets 1 hit through total. And he ends up with a single wound left. So, yeah, Slasher Boy. Bad man. It means he's almost guaranteed to die on the next turn. Unless he uses Just a Scratch, in which case, if that's available, could CP it, Just a Scratch, and he will most likely get the kill. Maybe. Because this is the Bruiser veteran who has the 5-up Feel No Pain. So that is, yeah. Yeah. So the Flamer actually managed to get in range of the knob, dealt some significant damage. So I can't argue with that. Ah, yeah, okay. Sniper. Yeah. Sniper Boy. Sniper Boy is so good. Sniper Boy and Rocket Boy are so strong. So yeah, Flamer there, sorry, used the recon order to flip shots and dealt 6 damage to the knob. He'd wanted to charge the knob with the guard. Sorry, I'd wanted to charge the knob with the guard leader, but that would just mean my guard leader would die. The Rocket Boy killed the Flamer here. Easy one. Of course he did. Obviously the knob charges in. Medic had to... Hold on, what's going on? Knob charges the medic. So the medic healed the hardened vet for 4 wounds. After I'm not giving you an absolute play-by-play. I'll just, yeah. Yeah, so the knob charged the medic who accidentally had thrown himself between the 2 leaders there. So the medic had to get charged instead of the leader. But the knob completely fluffed the roll. Only getting a single hit, but it was a crit. And he has a power claw, so that's still an instant kill. Yes, rip medic there. And of course, the medic ability was FAQ'd, so that it's another model, not that model. A few operatives move around. You know, Commando got zooms up. I think it was like the final activation or something. The Sniper Boy gets... Oh, sorry, the Sniper gets the kill on the boy there. Bruiser veteran, as I said, just needed a single hit on the Slasher. But he actually completely missed as he's injured. But then seeing as it's a 50-50 roll, so he needs 4s, I use 2 CP for 2 rerolls, and luckily one of them hits. Don't forget that when you're using rerolls, there is essentially a reroll step. So let's say you have 4 dice, all of them miss, but you only need 1 hit. So you think, okay, I'm going to spend 1 CP to reroll 1 dice. One of the 4 dice, you reroll. You can never reroll a reroll. So you roll that and you miss again. You cannot then say, okay, actually, I'm going to spend all of my CP and reroll the other 3 dice as well. You've missed your chance at that point. So you have to decide straight away, are you rerolling 1 dice, 2 dice, 3 dice, 4 dice? Which is why I rerolled 2, because on a 50-50, logically, I should get 1 hit through. Otherwise, he would have died to Slasher Boy. Dacker Boy, another nice line check here. Dacker Boy gets a shot off at the plasma. Now, if I'd known that was possible, I would have actioned the plasma earlier, because he took 6 damage from that. I realized this is a solo battle report, and I just told you that it's really hard to do a solo battle report when I'm trying to do weird tactics. But honestly, I do seem to surprise myself a lot, and I'm not above using a laser line to screw myself over. So yeah, that's the game we're playing, and I think it is important to get those gotchas on yourself. If you manage to make that move where you thought you were safe, but then it turns out, nope, you have no cover because I've outflanked you, even though I didn't realize it could be done, that's a good thing to do. Teach yourself. I don't think solo battle reports, I don't think Sad Hammer is as useful as it once was, but it can still teach you a few things. Yeah. So what does he do here? He actions on the point and dashes, I think. Yeah. Okay. I dashed to get out of line of sight, so I can't return fire with the plasma. I activate the guard comms and give an extra APL to the plasma. I don't know what I did there. As I say, just shuffling around, moving around, it's all good. That's probably the end of the turn. Yeah, I mean, other things happened. There was some Overwatch shots, some comms play, etc., etc. The plasma did action on the point before moving. Dackerboy got an Overwatch shot, but didn't hit, didn't do any damage. So sorry, he did hit, but he didn't get any damage through. And finally, the Zealot moved onto the center over here, we see, but is unable to cap it, as he'd finished his job here. And we knew what the orcs were. They were all about having APL in the center of the board, so he had to make the move there out of position to stop them scoring. All things considered, pretty cool. Oh, okay. Turn 2 initiative. Both roll 4s, which means whoever didn't have it last turn takes it this turn. So the commanders go first, which they very much needed. Except the Vet Guard used their chronometer and rolled a 6. So they get to go first again. It's not that they really, really wanted to go first. It's just that this is probably the turn where the game's decided, so if it's not used now, it won't really matter. Again, if you've paid for equipment, it's probably a good idea to use it, even if it's not 100% the best time to use it, is what I would generally say. Okay. Everyone goes back up to 1 CP, or they get 1 CP. As you can tell, I should probably use the scoreboard at some point. And Orcs use it on Skulk, again, an amazing ability. Whilst Vet Guard, seeing a lot of fighting this round, use Fixed Bayonets, reroll 1s in fighting. There's lots to do, but they absolutely 100% have to charge the knob for an auto kill, because he was, down to two health left. If I didn't charge him, he was going to charge me. So all I had to do was roll a 4 up on 3 dice, right? Comms goes for it, but it rolls all 2s. So not even 1s, which I could have re-rolled with the Fixed Bayonets. So I used my final CP to re-roll and managed to get the kill, which is super lucky. Breacher moves up, throws a stick bomb, does a little bit of damage, not much. So, you know, yeah, not much, which is a little bit of a shame. Plasma, despite being on 1 wound, over there, yeah, wipes the Dak boy off the map. Amazing. Skulk pointless against Plasma. There you go. Sniper shoots, but absolutely fluffs the roll, completely missing, which is a big sadness for the snipers there. I believe, marked airstrike kills the sniper and knocks the rocket boy below half health. Very nice. Guard leader shoots a regular plasma into the breacher, dealing 5 damage, then activates on the point as the guard are now controlling it. Oh, am I out? Am I done? For some reason, that is my final. Oh, okay, all right. Guard leader shoots a regular plasma into the breacher, kills him. Rocket boy didn't want to shoot the guy with 3 health left. He wanted to shoot the full health guy, but the full health guy wasn't about to score additional VP, so the rocket launcher kills the bruiser instead. Over here we see. Sniper kills the breacher. Sorry, the sniper for the vet guard, not the sniper boy. The commandos kills the breacher, and the orcs concede. Yep. Big mistake for commandos was not having the grenade guys unengaged to take out the nest, and also, if I may be so bold, where's my stream? Also, just the issue of me trying to do what's the word? Non-traditional tactics against myself doesn't really work in this version of Kill Team with my current knowledge of the game. There you go. Ooh, all right. Yeah. You hate micron pens. No matter how careful I am, oh, really? Oh, dear. That zoom in, yeah. Kill Team draw and paint silly stuff like that in their barricade, as they should. These are baby tanks with choppers and a sniper. Skulk about is cancelled by Vantage, though. Double hello. Cool. Cool. Didn't know that. Seems fair. Bruiser veteran ignores a hit. It's the harder with the 5 up. Yeah, I probably got it right on the day. I can't remember which one's which. Nice. So, it could just be that this stream is dragging and people didn't want it to last an hour and a half. Or people didn't want me to talk about Kill Team and do this. So, message received. Battle reports of battles, not what people want in live streams. Understand it. Understandable. I shall keep things more general in that case. I guess the reason I lent this way is because I wanted it to be not just another version of my Vantage Point podcast that would be a solo episode, essentially. So I didn't want it to be just me talking, but I will have to figure out exactly what I want, because I do want to continue doing these, as I say, either every Sunday or every other Sunday, because, you know, as I was saying, I'm not really a social media guy. I interact occasionally in Discord. I read most stuff in my Discord. I don't always interact with it. And apart from leaving the occasional, like, positive, oh, that model looks cool in Facebook and Reddit, I don't really have a way to interact with my community much. So obviously, because I have built my channel on YouTube, logically the way that I interact with it is via YouTube. And this is a good way to talk to people in person, and I shall hopefully keep this up. Quite what it's going to be and what I do going forwards, if not battle reports, I don't know. I guess it will be a little bit more generic. Lessons learned for the weeks, I guess. Something like that. Or just pick up a talking point that I wanted to talk about during the week, but that isn't big enough to make a video about. That sort of thing. Cool. Well, as we're coming up to almost 2 hours, guys. And oh, you know what? I was gonna say any final thoughts? But actually, I realized what it is. It's not that people didn't like the content. It's that I turned my candle off, and they're sad. People came for the candle. There you go. And I turned it off. I apologize. That is definitely vanilla. Next time, I think we'll go with the Tyranids, exocrine, toxocrine spores, and see what they're like. But we shall see. Cool. Anyway, that's kind of it. Let's swap to, because I'm done with the pictures now. So let's swap to. We could have just me, or we could have. Wait for it. That. Yes, there we go. Excellent. Good. Right. Cool. Well, set up a demo of those outside the box tactics and showcase potential cool play. Oh, okay, so here's the thing. A lot of you might have noticed that my content recently has been very what's the vlogger, right? Talking head. The kind of thing you get quite a bit of in 40k, because there are so many channels doing so many different types. You have room for people to just talk about the game a bit. I really want to go and do what's it called? My gosh, I can't even think what the name is. Faction deep dives, right? I want to do the full faction guide, everything you need to know about the different factions. Forget compendium, they can come later, but I want to get the specialist team faction guides done, right? However, they are a lot of work. For me, I would have to fully script them. I couldn't just talk off the cuff to give you a good guide. And I also don't quite know what form of content, like how it would be. So I still need to figure that out. What I might do is take one of the factions from Compendium, because obviously they are smaller, and talk about that and say this is, and use that almost as a way to practice what I want to do for the full guys. Because I mean, I could just say, oh hey, if you play Vet Guard, take these specialists, take the 4 troopers instead of ancillary support, and yeah, make sure that when you activate, use your comms, make sure you have your medic here, make sure you have your comms next to your leader, and take this equipment. In 90% of matchups, you play well into X and you play not so great into Y. And that's it. I could crack that out in probably like, I don't know, half an hour, something like that. I mean, the video would be like 10 minutes, but it would take me, an hour to do or whatever. And like, I don't know, is that really... I don't know, I feel like I want to make something more comprehensive, but I'm not quite sure what, because the truth is, people don't want an hour-long faction deep dive for Vet Guard. And so what I actually kind of want to do is do the deep dive, 20 minutes, let's say, going over everything I can, and then next day, a battle report. That's what I want to do. But nobody watches battle reports, so it's a little bit of a challenge. I'll have to think about that. Yeah. What about beginner tactics deep dive? Like going through basic strategies to improve your game in general, learning how to use cover effectively. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's an option. Again though, I would almost have to put as much work into that as a faction dive, right? Because I'm not quite sure what to say beyond, hey, you need to know the core rules. And once you understand the core rules, you will be playing much better. So yeah, sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm already halfway through my full how to play kill team guide script. And I just have to make one small change to a to my advanced mistakes rules guide. I want to put those out because I think those are actually genuinely useful for people. So, Felix, what to do versus different factions and missions is, of course, a great idea, but then it becomes too expansive. I can't actually give like every single iteration of what you should do against each faction, because then it becomes a huge video. And as I said, people don't really want an hour long video. They want a 20-minute video tops. And as soon as you have to say something about 18 different things, that's how many factions there are. I think there's more now. Just the raw how long it takes to say words takes too long. So a little bit of a challenge. To be honest, I tried to watch the battle reports, but the animated arrows are completely unreadable, especially when they move. So yeah, those arrows are weird. That's because I'm just using a generic software that does that for me. I'm not like putting those arrows in myself. Yeah. Honestly, I'd like to just do live battle reports and just put it up unedited, hour 45, force people to watch it. Yeah. I'd play on a chess clock to make sure that I can still hit a time limit and not have it go on for 2.5 hours, but yeah. 2H, 50, 20 minutes play-by-play battle report is a joy to watch compared to 1 hour video. Yeah, they take a lot more effort. And really, if I were to do an edited battle report, I would want it to be more like play on tabletop. Not to their production quality level, because that would just be silly, me attempting to replicate that. But in the sense of it would be a mix of reaction of players. So you would still get that this is people playing a game. And then just raw tabletop footage. But I actually don't know how to do it. Without me wanting to kill myself, that is. I like the faction dive. Sure, you can find most of the information in Control F in glasses. Yeah. Of course you can. There's always going to be more in my Discord than on my channel, you know. I think the most useful thing is something that gives people an idea of what team they would enjoy playing. That's a fair point. But again, I almost think that's better done in these. So Birinid is currently doing that. I think his videos are pretty good for that. He's trying to go through all the factions, doing like 10-minute videos saying this is blah blah blah. A key moments battle reports. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. But then you almost just become a shaky cam back rep chan. Shaky cam back rep chan. Oh, that's what I should have called my 40k channel. Shaky cam back rep chan. Unfortunately, no. So, shaky cam back reps are so interesting because I don't like watching them. Like, I really don't. But there is something very cool about them. Even now, even when we have, the Tabletop Titans, the Vanguard Tactics, all of that stuff, even now that we have those with way better cameras and all this stuff, there's something interesting about a shaky cam battle report. And I'm mentally trying to figure out what that is and how to remove the shaky cam aspect of it and put it into a battle report without me having to have like 20 different cameras and mic'd up players. Yeah, cool. All right, guys. Well, anyway, thank you very much for hanging out on my first, what's this called? I've got no idea. Kill Team live stream. Kill Team Sunday, Kill Team. Sunday live stream, Kill Team. Every other Sunday, Kill Team live stream. Tra la 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 la. It's been an experiment. As I say, I do. Even if these become very poorly viewed, as I suspect they will, because nobody really wants to watch a 2-hour thing, I will keep doing them as a live stream thing. Because they are a way that I am comfortable interacting with my community, and just people talking about Kill Team. Yeah, I hope I can do more of these. And certainly, as I mentioned, if your phone just dropped in, I do have more cameras I can play around with. I can. So, for example, here, you know, I'm sure it will happen, but at some point I will swap cameras, and I can have a hand cam, so I can read through something whilst, you know, you see my face and what I'm looking through, much like I did for the Wormblade White Dwarf read through. So, like, there are things to do, and I suspect that every Sunday, assume that it would just be me talking to the camera like this right now, but perhaps on some Sundays I'll do different things. Yeah. Yes, it was very far aside until the candle was stifled, snuffed, etc. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks very much, guys. Oh, I've got it. Hold on. Okay. If you've watched till the end of the video, I would like to give you a big triple hello. That was pretty in time, I think, right? Pretty in time. All right. Yes, Andrew Power there. What a name. Max Steel. Dylan Rod. Andrew Power. These are names of men. My God. Never has a masculinity been more fragile. God, I wish that was my name. Yeah, man. All right, guys. Sorry, what I was going to say. Yes, I hope that most people are hobbying whilst they do this. In fact, it's entirely possible that this will become my hobby hour or something. So, all right, guys. Thank you very much. This has been Glass Half Dead. I hope you've had a good day and continue to have a good day. I will see you during the week when hopefully we have more Nakmund reveals.